All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Confident You Podcast. All right, everyone, listen, I am excited about tonight's episode. I have been doing research and looking at different things. I first just want to give you a quick tip about confidence. Confidence is not going into a room and comparing yourself to anyone else that's there. It's about going to in the room and knowing that you're supposed to be there, knowing your value, and just exploring what opportunities you have to grow and be better and show up in that room. All right, so that's my tip about confidence. The topic tonight, branding up. Listen, we're going to delve so much further than only branding. I won't say just branding. I believe it is important. We're going to go much further than only branding. I believe that businesses are vital and important. I believe that in the economy that we're in now, in the state of how everything is, and the crazy thing is, I believe that whenever you see this episode, that would be the fact that you're going to need to be doing things to bring your expectations of how your life should be lived and what legacy you leave for your family. The responsibility of that lies in you and your gifting and what you do with those things. In my research about this episode, the one thing, it was really disheartening. I found a quote by Rockefeller, and it was in reference to schools and what was being taught in the schools and the impact of just that whole movement, the statement and the movement that came with it, and how it drastically changed things. He said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Well, we have other options. And gratefully, I have someone here with me who is going to be able to tell you those options, how to achieve them in so many ways beyond only branding. So bring it to the platform right now, our special guest, Jeremy
Hello.
Patton. Thank you. Hi, how are you? Thank
Hello,
you for
hello.
being here.
I
Thank
am
you.
doing really good. Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here and I'm
Yes.
looking forward to our conversation today.
Yes. So let's just start at the beginning. Let's start at you. I've let the cat out of the bag in terms of you're an entrepreneur. But how it did this start for you? How did life start for you?
How
Just
did
so
like
people can get to know you.
so I was born in California, in San Diego, California. I was raised in a town called Bakersfield, California, which is Central California. So if you think of LA, think of maybe an hour and a half north of LA and in the middle of California. It's a desert, oil field. There's a lot of crops, a lot of farming out there. It's like country city, pretty much. And I was raised there in California. I went to school out there. I started school out there. I ended up transferring later on to Georgia State University in Atlanta, where I spent the greater days of my adult years. And that pretty much brings me to where we are today. I
All right. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
No, so that pretty much brings me to where we are today. So I have a little bit of California in me, I have a little bit of Georgia in me, and I did recently move to Texas. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so now I'm getting a little Texan in me as well.
Wow. Okay. So you're a traveler. I see. All right.
Yes.
So, being an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
um, how did that start with you as a child?
Well, actually, entrepreneurship was never really something that I was aware about as a child. It wasn't anything that I was exposed to growing up. in Bakersfield, California, the neighborhood that I grew up in, there weren't really many opportunities. You had to travel outside of my neighborhood, pretty far for whatever job you had. And no one in my area, no one in my neighborhood actually that I was exposed to were entrepreneurs. There weren't too many opportunities. And so as a child, again, entrepreneurship just wasn't introduced to me. It was something I ended up growing into and ended up falling in my lap later on in life.
Later on in life. So from childhood, what came next? How did you progress?
Well, so the area that I grew up in was poverty area. There are a lot of gangs. There are a lot of there are a lot of illegal activity in that area, and I just knew that that wasn't the life that I wanted to live. I knew that that wasn't for me, and so with that in mind, I decided to go to school. And I actually studied business in school. So I knew that in my neighborhood, again, I knew what the avenues and what the options were. And so I was always told in school, like in high school and middle school, if you go to college, then, from there you'll get like a really good job, you'll get a high paying job, and that's pretty much the life, that's the avenue in order to make it out of this neighborhood. And so that was really from childhood, I transitioned into going to school and focusing on my studies, including business.
Yeah, including business.
Yes.
Okay, so you majored in business
Yes.
in college. All right.
Yes.
And from majoring in business, what was your first business endeavor?
So my first business endeavor came on later, far later after I graduated from college. So when I initially graduated from college, I always envisioned working at the head of a company, and
Mhm.
so I wanted to work my way up. I wanted to, get a great 9 to 5 job, and work my way up, and just be in charge of whatever business operations I ended up in charge of. My first business endeavor again came years after college, and I
Okay.
actually started a t-shirt company that on the side of my 9 to 5. So I actually have a manufacturing background, and one day I just envision a t-shirt company, a t-shirt brand that could motivate and inspire other people to go after whatever their dreams in life was. And so during or while I was working at my manufacturing job, that's why I ventured into entrepreneurship and started my t-shirt company.
Okay, you said two things that
Okay.
kind of really piqued my interest because did you hear the quote from Rockefeller about not
Yeah.
creating thinkers, but
Yes.
creating workers? Do you
Yes.
feel as though that was the system that kind of played out for you in your life? Not singling you out because I think it's
Mhm.
kind of broad.
Absolutely. I think that it definitely was the system that kind of played out in my life. Like even in school, even though I studied business, they never really went into how to start your own business. They never went into how to operate and run your own business. It was always a focus area and how to work within the different company, within a different corporation. And so I think just in general, going to school, I think that that's kind of the system that has been laid out for many people. That's the avenue that has been painted and the pathway that has been painted for many people
Is to go to school to be a worker,
to be
not
a
to go
worker.
to
Yes.
school. Wow, not to go to school to create, even in a business degree. So,
Even with a
did you
business
ever
degree.
learn um, how to do business taxes
Yes.
in the
Uh-huh.
business degree? They taught you that?
Yes. So
Okay.
as I was pursuing my business degree, we had different focus areas. So one class may be for accounting and filing taxes. One class may be for marketing. One class may be for general business management. But nothing ever like went into actually growing and developing and launching your own business. Nothing ever went into like taking a business idea or concept that you come up with and actually turning it into a reality. And so that had to come later on in life with trial and error.
With trial and error. So, what were the trials and errors?
Really, it's just when I was overwhelmed with the idea of starting my own company. I'm a researcher at heart. And so going and deep diving into research on how to properly start a business, how to plan out a business, how to get business funding, uh, everything that's incorporated with the startup process of a business. That was a part of my trials and errors. Going and actually doing the research and then applying those things in real life and running into roadblocks and having to figure out my own way with the information that was available at the time.
Okay.
Again, because I wasn't exposed to entrepreneurship, it was more so I had to figure it out on my own.
Even with a business degree.
Even with a business degree, yes.
So they did cover some of the critical components.
Yes.
But it didn't give you the creative things that you would need to do.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
And even like with entrepreneurship, you have like ownership of the company. So if you don't show up, your company is pretty much in a dormant state. So having those responsibilities, preparing the students with that information, with the mindset of, the ups and downs, the pitfalls of business ownership, preparing them for the hard times, the good times, and the times that are in between. None of that came with technical, college education. That all came through, practical work.
Practical work. So, from making your own t-shirt business and learning all of those tools and tactics through the trials and errors of owning your own business, what was the next thing that you did with all of that information?
Well, my t-shirt business actually transformed and to where we are today. So when I was studying the process of running a company, starting a company, I realized that there's so much information out there. There's so many different resources out there. And depending on what link you land on, it may have, it may have 10 steps, it may have 2 steps, it may have 100 different steps. And so I gathered all this information. I compared it with various government sites, such as the Small Business Administration, with the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office, with my state government, with my state government website. And I gathered all this information and I kind of narrowed out what was the best practices. And from there, I started actually putting out videos, content on what the best practices were based off of all these official government websites. And from there, with that video content, I started getting a lot of feedback. I started getting a lot of followers, a lot of people that were reaching out saying, "Hey, I need this information," or "I was looking for this information," or "I'm thinking about I'm starting my business and this information helped me out." And my t-shirt business kind of transformed into a business consulting uh, agency where I am now helping guide new and aspiring entrepreneurs through the startup, through the planning, through the registration and launching phase of their business.
Okay, so now you do marketing. How important is marketing for your business?
Marketing is so vital. Marketing is just as important as sales. They go kind of hand. I tell people they go hand in hand. With marketing, without marketing, let's go there. Without marketing, your potential customers don't know that you exist. Without marketing, your potential customers are, when they look for whatever your product is, whatever your service is, they're going to go to other people that are in their face, other people that have different marketing at out there. And marketing goes across the board. It's not just, a lot of people think that marketing is saying, hey, I have, this item available, or hey, I have that item available. But no, you have to think, social media, you have to think about your website, you have to think about search engines, you have to think about different ways to draw an audience to your website. You have to think about like a wide range of things, not to include the traditional marketing avenues, which includes commercials or advertisements, billboards, etc. And so with marketing, again, you are exposing your potential customer to your company, essentially, and you're
All right.
building a relationship with them. You're bringing in an audience and bringing in individuals that want to shop for your product or for your service.
So what about, do you help people with the the planning for their business
Mhm.
plan, their
Yes.
vision, their mission?
Yes.
How vital are those things? What roles do they play?
I believe it's paramount, right? When you have a vision and you have a business idea, but if you do not have a solid, thorough business plan, if you don't have a solid, thorough idea and sense of direction of where you're going in your business, then you're going to be all over the place. Some of the things that you're going to do, you may be bouncing around. You won't be clear to your target audience. You will run into unnecessary setbacks, whether that is you venturing in or buying unnecessary supplies or equipment, whether that is you running into financial issues. So planning and developing your business idea covers all of that completely and gives you a clear sense of direction on where to go in all aspects of your business.
So I hear what you're saying. You're saying, because you said you'll bounce all around. So do you feel that having these things in place, you helping people to put this information on paper, to write the vision and make it plain, do you feel that that helps not only the customer see what
Mhm.
you offer, it helps you as a business owner to
Yes.
stay structured and focused on what the goal is?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And it does both. You are developing how, and when you have a clear vision of what you're doing, you are able to communicate what it is that you do or what the product or services that you do or have to your customer. And with that, your customer is able to have a clear understanding of your products, of your services, of the meaning of your company, of the meaning behind your products or your services. And the two go hand in hand. So you get a clear vision as a business owner, and your customer gets a clear vision as a potential uh, client or customer of yours.
Okay, so you were on social media and you were offering great, detailed, critical information like you just listed out.
Mhm.
What took place then?
I'm sorry, what do you mean what took place then?
What took place then in terms of you were just giving advice to people?
Yes.
What was the next step that took place?
So what the way I run my social media page is I try to give out a lot of valuable information as a business owner, the things that you need to do behind the scenes in the back office so that you could implement and structure your business, that so that you could get the correct systems involved and in place, and that way you can, you could focus on growing your business. Some of those things that I mentioned, including, having bookkeeping, for example, those are things that hold a lot of people back because when it comes time to file their taxes, they're scrambling to, to structure their finances and to pull out their finances. And so they find it difficult to do those things. So I go over a lot of important business concepts that every business owner should be mindful of, should be aware of as they're running their business, as they're growing their business to help out their business overall.
Okay. Okay. And so that's what you do at B.A.B.W.J.P, right?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
So,
All right.
so
And yes.
So that's what I do on my social media page and account,
Uh-huh.
that with the content that you're referring to earlier. With my company itself, I do business. My company does business development and marketing. So we take any business idea, no matter what the industry is, no matter what state you're at. We are able to operate completely virtual. So we sit down with our clients. We take their business idea. We help them do the research behind whatever industry that they are looking to go into. We help them to do the research with the proper registration for whatever state or area or region that they're in, and we walk them through planning out. We walk them through developing their business concept, their business idea. We help them register their business not only on social media, as online for a website, as well as with the different government agencies. And from there, we help them like create a marketing plan for their launch of their business. So we do a all around service all the way up to the launch of your business.
All right. So, what is the most unique business that you have been a part of in grooming to be a successful business?
The most unique. Uh, hmm. There was a time, actually, not too long ago. I had an individual that came to me, and they wanted assistance with running for political office. And so what people don't realize is running for political office is kind of similar to running a business, right? You, the candidate is the brand of the company pretty much, and they're going out and they're raising funding, they're raising money, and so there is a whole process behind it where you have to pretty much you have to plan out. You have to make sure that you're registered. You have a marketing strategy. You have to have a publicity strategy, and you have to make sure that your campaign is structured the same way as a business. And so I actually taken on this client, even though they weren't starting a business, again, because the two kind of go hand in hand. I, my company went through the research process with them. We helped them register as a candidate. We helped them structure their campaign, their teams, everything, all the way up to the point where they're actually able to go out, launch, and do a tour of, you know, of going out and campaigning. Actually,
That's amazing. Someone
yes,
came to you, a business professional who
Mhm.
helps to groom and cultivate others' businesses
Yes,
for the political arena.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So it definitely started off as marketing, as a marketing aspect, and with the intricate of what goes into starting a campaign and speaking to that particular candidate and speaking to them about what they had to do, and actually helping them plan out the next steps with their marketing. It transitioned to us actually helping out with the campaign as a whole and helping to structure their campaign efforts and their and everything
So
that.
that took place. How critical is, because you're talking about the political arena, and
Mhm.
in the past decade or so of elections, social media has played a
Yes.
vital role. So,
Yes.
with social media playing a vital role in the political arena, and you comparing the political arena to being an entrepreneur, how
Mhm.
critical or how vital is social media to a business?
It's extremely vital, right? The right now there are like it's extremely vital. Like the I'm sorry, it is extremely vital, right? There are the majority of the population of the world is on social media. There are recent studies show that 5.3 billion people are on social media. And if you look at social media has transitioned from the concept of a social setting to a marketing platform. When you look at Facebook has changed its name to Meta, and they changed their classification from social networks to a marketing company. And as a business owner, you have to use every tool, every resource that's available to you, and that includes social media. Social media, you can get in front of a large audience for free. And with paid advertisements, you're able to get in front of a much larger audience, a target audience that is your ideal customer client for your particular product or service with social media for a fraction of the cost that would go if you were to go through traditional marketing avenues, such as billboards, such as TV commercials, such as radio ads. Like, those things cost thousands of dollars, where you could get in front of, again, a much wider audience that's specifically targeted for your products or services for a fraction of the cost. So social media is vital for any entrepreneur, for any business owner. It's paramount as well.
It's paramount. So at B.A.B.W.J.P, do you help people create that content? Because it's great to get on social media, but it has to be a specific, effective form of content to have an impact. Is that something that you offer?
Yes, absolutely. So my company offers a couple different tiers when it comes to our marketing services. We go from anything from consulting and coming up with your content strategy, coming up with your content plan. We do that. We also go through our content creation. We help clients and customers edit and create their own content. So if they are like filming content, taking pictures, or have photo shoots or anything like that, we assist with that. And we also recently went into content creation. So we do video marketing content for our customers and clients as well. So we do a wide range of everything, everything marketing related in that degree.
All right. So you have the business where they can come in and do business development and marketing. What other things do you do? Like, what other components are there? There are people that like to read, and that's how they communicate. So while there are still people on social media, there are still people that appreciate turning the pages or scrolling, whichever way. And they enjoy learning that way. Do you offer something for that audience?
Yes, absolutely. I actually, last year, I had my first book published. It's called The Preparation for the Treacherous Entrepreneurial Journey, Things You Need to Know 1.0. And so this goes through every step of the planning, development, registration process as an entrepreneur. This also goes over a lot of the different challenges that new entrepreneurs face, and different routes and avenues on getting over those challenges and getting through and launching their business. So this goes pretty much A through Z as far as taking any business concept, planning it out, getting through the challenges that you're going to face. And that way you have insight, and you are aware of the challenges that most entrepreneurs face, and you have the tools to get through them quicker, easier, and even avoid them. And then also register and launch your business.
Register and launch your business.
Yes.
So you help with the administrative things of a business, as well as the social media, as well as the planning, so that there's a great foundation and a blueprint and structure for you to move forward and grow through marketing.
Yes. Yeah. So one thing I realized with my clients that were planning and that were starting a business, I realized that one thing that after they started their business that they were not aware of, or did not have a strong grasp on, was the marketing aspect. And so they kind of go hand in hand. I didn't want to I did not want to help someone launch their business, but leave them to the wolves when it comes to the marketing aspect. Anybody that's on social media, that there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of different, there's a lot of different channels and information out there. So I wanted to help give my clients an avenue and give them an intro into the marketing aspect as well. So that's where the marketing comes into play.
Okay. So you would say the marketing is the biggest thing that people missed, but the most vital thing that people need to do after they structure.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because again, without marketing, your clients, nobody knows you exist. So, and unfortunately, no matter how good your product or service is, without marketing, again, you're not getting in front of the people that your products and services are meant to help. So I wanted to, yes. So so I intentionally wanted to include that to make sure that people have they're able to go and wait and ride the momentum after their launch and into getting in front of their ideal target audience.
Okay. Ideal target audience. I did say that there were two things that stood out to me. We discussed one. The thing that we didn't discuss is you said you started your business while you were working your job. I hear different views on this. So I would like to know, do you feel as though when people are starting a business, they need to walk away from their 9 to 5 to do that? Or is that something that you found successful to do simultaneously?
Personally, I actually do not tell people to walk away from their 9 to 5 when they're starting their business. And there's a few reasons why I personally don't agree and subscribe to that theory. And a couple of those reasons I'll go over is that one, when you're starting off with your business, you're going to have business expenses. You're going to have the startup costs. You're going to have different expenses that go into not only like gathering whatever your materials, whatever your supplies, whatever the back end office requirements are for your business to run smoothly and operate smoothly. Then also, most companies, they offer a steady paycheck. So now you have an investor of your company and your business that you're starting. Then also you have medical benefits that you need to make sure to take advantage of before you leave, because a lot of people they don't realize that when you leave your job, you have to find and you have to get insurance on your own. There's a lot of different benefits that your company may offer that you want to make sure to take advantage of while you're still working there. And it also, this allows you to test the market with your products and services, and make sure that there's a demand, make sure that it will not even help, but make sure that it will sustain your lifestyle, and that you are able to actually step away from your job and focus on your business full time.
You said, kudos, I agree with everything you just said, but there was an aspect I never ever considered. You said that to me, what I heard was consider your employment as an investor.
Yes,
in your business.
Absolutely.
If you
Absolutely.
thinking of it that way totally would change the mindset of people as they're at their 9 to 5 or whatever time frame that employed job is, while they're still getting their
Growing
business up and running.
Yes,
Wow.
Absolutely. When you start your business, most times you're not going to start your business and be extremely successful right out the gates. Most times, when you're starting your business, you still need to create a buzz around your business. You still need to start generating sales, and you need to generate sales on a consistent basis. So again, with you, and yes, it does limit your time that you have to focus on your business, but maintaining your employment while you are operating your business will allow you to have that financial security to be able to take those other risks that are involved with your business without putting your livelihood, without putting your home at risk, without putting your family at risk. So I definitely recommend. A lot of people start their business, maintain their 9 to 5. And in addition to that, you also have tax benefits as well. So when you go to file your taxes, you could write off your startup costs for your business from your taxes, and you will be able to take those advantages as well while you're working your 9 to 5.
So, you started down a whole nother avenue, sir. You've opened
Yes.
up another can of worms. You
Okay.
keep piquing my interest. You said because there were tax breaks. Now, just in the pandemic alone, with layoffs, pre-pandemic with
Yes.
furloughs and
Yes.
things like that, just the job market itself, I feel that it's vital for people to have their own business.
Yes.
Because it's proven over the years and time again that employment isn't guaranteed. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. Most states actually operate like a right to work state. So you could go into your job. If you live in one of these states and work in one of these states, you could go into your job and not have any like negative remarks or anything negative about your work. And if your employer decides to fire you today, they could fire you with or without cause, with or without reason. And to your point, having something on the side, having a additional source of income on the side while you are working your 9 to 5 is extremely important. Because, for example, that you brought up in the time of the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs and or were at risk of losing their jobs, and now you're stressed out. You don't know if you'll be able to pay your bills that month. You don't know how you're going to get by. And employment is never guaranteed, but you go with your business, whether you are a full-time employee, a part-time employee, or a full-time entrepreneur, you could have that income stream coming in, and you could always grow that income stream regardless of whether you're full-time, part-time, or full-time entrepreneur.
Okay, and you said taxes during the pandemic. If you
Yes.
were employed and you lost your employment, you got unemployment, maybe $600 a week, and you got the stimulus check, $1,000,
Right.
$2,000. But if you were a business owner,
Yes.
especially a home business owner, they were handing out $10,000 grants.
Yes.
For a home business, and they were handing out your employees
with the personal, with the PPP loan, they were giving out tens of thousands of dollars that they wrote off, loans that a lot of entrepreneurs did not have to pay back because of the pandemic. One thing that governments make sure to protect is companies. We live in a capitalistic society, and businesses run and policies are created around businesses. And so when you think about even banks that are failing, the government steps in to save those banks.
Bails them out.
When they bail them out left and right. When you think about corporations, major corporations, and any company, any business, there are tax codes, there are policies in place to not only protect you, but also to give you an advantage in society, because the government wants to ensure that businesses continue to run and that they are able to employ society. And so when you think of it that way, you are, as a entrepreneur, you are living and you're playing by the rules that are set in stone, that are set up for you to succeed. When you look at again some of the policies that are put in place, it's definitely structured for entrepreneurs. It's structured for corporations. And so as a member of society, you have to take a full advantage of that, of some of
Yes.
those policies and systems that are in place, some of those safety nets that are in place, that come and that are brought out at times of of hardship within the country,
Yes.
like
Yes.
we
That's
saw during the pandemic,
my goodness. Yes. And still
and
seeing the
still can.
pandemic
Yes.
with all of the people that got laid off. It was a free for all to start
Hmm.
your own business. So many
Yes.
people who even started just driving, the different driving services,
Yes.
were doing that to make ends not only meet, but overlap. They offered so many
Yes.
incentives for those people. But that, if you're running a cash business, you're a sole proprietor. That is a business.
Yes.
And just knowing those tax codes and things like that really do benefit you, because how, as a business, during the pandemic, they gave away the grants and they gave away the paycheck program assistance. It's like
Yes.
you there were so many opportunities for you to benefit. But even before that, the
Hmm.
tax codes are set up with over 400 ways for
Yes.
businesses to get breaks, to get
For sure.
breaks. Yes. So there is, only because I know and I'm excited, I want everyone else just to hear a little bit about, there is yet another way that you help entrepreneurs once a month on a Thursday.
Yes. So every third Thursday of every single month, we do a start your business challenge. So we go through essentially the planning process of any business. So we go over the main concepts, and we will give you the step-by-step guidelines. There's a workbook that will allow you to go through and plan out your business thoroughly, and register your business and get prepared to launch your business. So every third Thursday, we have one actually coming up the 20th of this month, April 2023, and it is at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link is in the description, I believe.
Yes.
You can also find it on my social media as well as my website as well.
All right.
And
So, since you've already started, let me yield the
okay.
floor to you so you can give everyone the opportunity to know all the great things that
Mhm.
Jeremy Patton offers at
Okay.
B.A.B.W.J.P.
Uh, First off, I want to say thank you very much, Marion, for having me on your platform. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be here. Now, my name is Jeremy Patton. I started the company called B.A.B.W.J.P, which stands for Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton. My company does business development and marketing services. So we help you take whatever your business idea is, plan it out, register it, and get it ready for launch. Then we also help with marketing on the way to your launch, as well as on the back end as well. Now, one thing that we also offer, we offer our once a month business course, which is the business startup challenge. Again, that is every third Thursday of each and every month. And you could find the link in the description below. That challenge is $97, but again, the value behind having the tools to get over the challenges that you're going to face as a new and aspiring entrepreneur, having the resources with it, that way you don't have to go out and find the avenue yourself and run into different trials and tribulations. We outline everything, so it's a clear step to step guideline for you to plan your business and launch your business on your own. Now, we also offer the one-on-one services as well. We don't, you could register for that through a discovery call, going through my website at B.A.B.W.J.P.com. And you could actually also reach out directly to me at Jeremy Patton at B.A.B.W.J.P.com. And then also you can find my company on all social media platforms at B.A.B.W.J.P. Again, B.A.B.W.J.P stands for Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton. I'm here to help you build your brand. And with that being said, thank you again, Marian, for having me. I do also want to remind you guys that you guys could get a copy of this book. It's called The Preparation for the Treacherous Entrepreneurial Journey. So let's say that you are an avid reader and you are somebody that wants to turn pages and wants to actually have a visual aid of the steps that it takes to start your business. This book right here will take you through not only, again, the challenges that you'll face as a new and aspiring entrepreneur, but also the steps, the guidelines, the different routes you can take as a new entrepreneur, as well as the different areas and the official websites and government agencies that you have to register with. Again, my name is Jeremy Patton from Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton, and thank you again for having me. It's been a true pleasure.
Yes. I just want everyone to know what the future holds for you. What is that new thing that you've started that everyone should definitely know about?
So I have started earlier. I mentioned that we started doing and offering content creation for marketing. I'm super excited about that because I am tapping into and I'm extending my marketing services. I'm extending my visual, my marketing eye, if you will. And I am helping people turn whatever their products or services is. There is a lot of people have personal brands, so I'm helping them create content around themselves, and I am getting more hands-on with my marketing assistance and services.
And what about that podcast?
Including the podcast. Including the podcast. So I have a podcast that I just launched that's called Building a Brand, and it's with me, Jeremy Patton, and I bring on entrepreneurs from any and all aspects, and we sit down, we talk about their journey, we talk about their pathway into entrepreneurship, we talk about what led them there, what different challenges that they face on their way to entrepreneurship. We talk about their company, their products, their services, the things they offer, and we talk about like the mission behind and what the purpose of their company is. And we go into a full discussion that's full of value, that gives out not only that lays out their story, but also gives out nuggets of advice and gems for the next wave of entrepreneurs as well. Again, it is called Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton. And you could find that podcast series on all streaming platforms as well as on YouTube.
All right. So, Jeremy, I thank you. I thank you for being here. I thank you for sharing all of the great information that you shared about entrepreneurship. I believe that
Yes.
it is something that we all need to do. I started my first business with my son, and now he has a business. I have another business. I'm noticing that there is a theme. After you start a business, you kind of start doing more businesses, more things.
Yes.
It gets easier to do. It gets
Yes.
easier to do because having just one stream or one focus and something happens, you can kind of fall off. So I admire that you have your podcast, that you have your book, that you have your every third Thursday group sessions, webinars, where you hold a business entrepreneur masterclass. I admire that you have your overall company, B.A.B.W.J.P. Everything that you've said tonight, I wholeheartedly agree with. Again, I started with a quote from Rockefeller, but it is very nice, very, I feel very honored to have you here to prove that did not take hold and take root, because you're evidence.
Right.
Sitting here right now in this moment. Yes, I know everyone else, and everyone else knows who I love and how I love, but I really do appreciate you being here and going through your story which is a history for you, your history and your testimony. For anyone coming from inner city and you feel like there's no way out, I'm just going to be stuck on this wheel that was invented.
There's definitely more options. There's so many more options. Like,
That
you
right there.
have the power to create your own opportunity. Anything that you want to do, if you take the time to research, if you put in the work to develop your skills, your character, your personal, as well as your professional character, you will be able to create your own opportunities and create your own path. And you have plenty of different opportunities. There's plenty of different routes and different avenues, different options beyond what you see in your close environment.
You just closed out the show. My last thing I usually ask the guests is to give the guests a confident tool. A confident tool, and for you, that confident tool would be confident tool on branding up. So what tool would you give?
Well, a confident tool that I would give on branding up. One, being yourself. Being yourself and having faith that you are doing what it is that you're meant to be doing. Whether that is you are developing and growing to your next phase or what have you. But whenever you start and when you are running and operating a business, be yourself and really embrace what your business represents. Really embrace who your business creates. You are essentially, you're the CEO, you're the captain of the ship. You have to wear all the hats. You have to wear all the responsibilities, and having that faith that you have the power, you have what it takes to see your vision through, to make your dreams into a reality. Having that full confidence in what you feel and what you agree with, having that confidence and having the ability to embrace that role that you chose or are choosing to go down is important. Have it both behind the scenes when you are approaching your business when nobody's looking, as well as in the public eye. They both are important and they are both vital. Remember, whatever avenue, whatever stage you're in, you got it. You just got to keep going. And that's my confidence.
My gosh, thank you so much. That is a wealth of confidence. I thank you. That can be applied on every aspect of life.
Yes.
I thank you very much for sharing. I thank you very much for sharing your testimony. As I said before, I thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. Everyone, this gentleman is exactly who he is. He genuinely does love doing the research. He will, he's in Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
If you're in California and you have a business that you want to start, he will put in the work to find out the laws, guidelines, and rules to get you up and running. But he won't just do it for you. He's going to teach you so that you can maintain, so that when you do have the opportunity to hire staff and start to take those hats off and have other people come in to run things, guess what? You're going to know exactly what you want them to do, what you don't want them to do. That's confident.
Exactly.
You're going to be able to confidently know what your business ins and outs are, how you want things done, where you want things done, and you're going to be on a great journey forward into a lavish future. Because definitely, just as he's done, I would say, run that play, get the play, and run that play on as many things as you can do, one business at a time. All right.
Thank you so much, Marian, for having me on your platform. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Yes.
I appreciate you saying yes. And I look forward to seeing you again here.
Yes, yes, we'll speak again, and I look forward to being on here. And I gotta have you on my podcast as well. So, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna have Marion on the Build and Brand podcast as well in
Thank
the near
you.
future.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. All right. So thank you
Thank
and good
you.
night to you.
Thank you, and good night.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your attentiveness to your well being, to building your confidence. Confidence is something you have to address all day, every day. Pay attention to the things that you say to yourself in your mind, because you then say them out your mouth, and then that's the reality you live. So you make sure that the things you're saying to yourself are kind. You make sure that the things that you're saying to yourself are productive, that they're positive, and that they're building the great future that you have, because God has a plan for you, but it's a plan that you have to actually walk out. All right. Have a great one. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Marion Swingler. And you can, that's enough. I know my daughter's going to get me like, Ma, but I appreciate you guys being here. I'm honored for the opportunity to share and have everyone come and partake on the great wealth of information that's imparted. Have a great one. See you next time.